Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your weekly news broadcast, MoCo Resistance. My name is Harold Maldonado. Today is November 8th, year of our Lord, 2023. We come to you with another weekly news broadcast. We've entitled episode 18 on the heels of what just happened yesterday, and a big news coming out of Casa from Maryland. So we duly called this episode Casagate. So we'll go ahead and open up episode 18. So we've entitled Casagate. We're going to start with current events. We're going to touch on what Casagate is. We're going to touch on the elections. We had elections yesterday in Rockville and Gaithersburg and other places around the DMV. We're going to talk about California 2.0. We're going to talk about how council members are endorsed by Casa. We're going to talk about the invasion going on right now in our country, in our state, in our county. And unfortunately, we have more bad news regarding crime and the gang activity going on in the county. And the main, issue or topic of episode 18 is Casa, Maryland. It's the operational arm of the county council. We're going to touch on that. Let's go ahead and start with current events. As always, we touch on current events looking at the Twitter feed. And we have a Twitter feed, a tweet from, it is 1938. He or she says, defund Casa. So, as many of you are aware, Casa leader or head, Gustavo Torres, yesterday or the day before, put out a statement in Casa's website stating that Casa stands in resolute and steadfast solidarity with the people of Palestine in the relentless fight for freedom. We stand shoulder to shoulder with countless black and brown freedom activists, etc., etc. And so a lot of outrage, of course, public outrage that Casa, NGO out of Maryland, out of Montgomery County, that is supposed to be nonpartisan, that's supposed to be working for the interests of immigrants in the county, it's actually not doing so. And we've said this before, and this is basically this confirms our opinions or statements regarding Casa. And it's another marxist NGO that works within the county and receives money from the county, and it works directly with the county council, all Democrats, and works for the Democratic Party. Greg, son of money, puts out a tweet. How many more in taxpayer millions do you want to give them? Andrew Fritzen and Katz, he asks. So we're going to delve deep into this in part 2 of this episode. And in the meantime, we would like to welcome new listeners and viewers to the program, to the channel. Welcome you to the Resistance, and to all those that listen to us on a weekly basis. Welcome back. All right, let's continue. We have an election day off to a rotational start in Arlington. A tweet from Jim Loki, and we have a liberal that is abusing a Republican poll worker, and is basically, this is the reaction that we get from all of these liberals who are basically brainwashed by the mainstream media, who believe everything that they say. And I'm gonna let you hear, and I apologize for the foul language. I'll try to edit it, but I'll let you hear the full extent of this abuse, verbal abuse that they.
You fucking people tried to overthrow the election. You might as well have been walking up to my head on the way to the polling station, putting a gun in my head, trying to tell me not to vote. You expect me to not take that fucking personally? You fucking try to overthrow elections with violence, and then you're out here among decent people.
Thanks for coming out.
What do you have to say that, huh? What's on your what are your policy prescriptions?
Have a nice day. You've already
fucking rapist rights.
Yeah.
Involving yourself in people's fucking families and their fucking bedrooms.
It's pretty wild.
You fucking animal. You try to steal my vote next year, I'm gonna fucking remember you personally.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm taking a fucking picture of you. Is that all right?
Yeah, you
Permission?
can. Yeah. It's a one-party consent state.
Shitbird? Yeah, one-party state. You want a fucking one-party country is what you want.
Hey, sir, how are you? Headed in to vote?
Yeah.
Could I get a Republican sample ballot? Sure, thank you.
You know, try not to be buddy-buddy with these people because they put on the face of a good neighbor, but they support lynch mobs or the fucking KKK, or they're fucking Bible-beating bigots and freaks. They're not good neighbors.
All right, let's continue. We have a tweet from Moms for Liberty, and the tweet reads, chapter members are out campaigning for endorsed school board candidates across the country today. This pic is all the way from Matanuska Borough, Alaska. So kudos to Moms for Liberty for fighting for parents' rights, and kudos to these ladies who are supporting candidates who want to see the right kind of education being brought up in their public school systems. Continuing, we have Roseanne Bauer. She's a patriot. She hails from the Jewish community, and she's actually someone who is a patriot. And she says, "Looks like we have a new securest election ever to boast about." And she is talking about a tweet by Benny Johnson that reads, voting machines in Pennsylvania are now being shut down after reports of machines flipping votes. What do you know? Elections have consequences. We've said that, and the Democrat Party doesn't seem to get it. It doesn't seem to understand that people are fed up with their fraud, and people are calling them out. And here we go. And this is why Americans have lost all faith in our election process. So again, people who, on both sides of the aisle, who still believe in the system are naive. They are naive in believing that the system works and the system is protecting the interests of the American people. And it's a complete falsehood. The system is rigged. The system is compromised, and we need to do something about it. And that's why we're here. We're here to present the public, especially the public in Montgomery County, to be aware of what's going on, to be aware of the issues, to be aware of who these leaders are in the county, running down our economy, increasing and protecting criminals, increasing crime. And this lady, for example, Council Member Dawn Lutke, she says the Montgomery County Council just approved a drone as first responder pilot modeled on this California program to help MCP News better respond to emergencies. And we said this before. I said this during the campaign last year. Montgomery County is California 2.0. Everything that happens in California in terms of bills and issues and everything that the government, state government and local governments are pushing, everything is followed by Montgomery County. And this, again, is another example of that. And we need more police officers. The police department needs more money, a bigger budget. This is just an example of that, and we'll delve into California 2.0 in another episode, but this is just a preview for you guys to see how the county is basically a compromise operation working for the international globalist criminal syndicate that wants to destroy our country a county at a time. Right, let's continue. We have, again, Clean Slate MoCo. They're basically doing a great job in putting out information. This tweet goes back to the Casa gate incident. He tweets, will Natalie F. Gonzalez get back the money donated by Gustavo? Gustavo is the leader of Casa of Maryland. And here's the amount of money that he has donated to council member Natalie Fanny Gonzalez. $400. Let's continue. And again, here's Natalie Fanny Gonzalez saying, getting the vote out in Prince William County, Virginia with Casa in action. Be a voter this Tuesday, November 7th to elect Danica Rome, Idris O'Connor, Josh King, and Deshundra Jefferson. Si se puede. This lady comes from the Hispanic community and is a complete fraud. She is a full Marxist communist political activist who has done nothing for the county, has done nothing for the immigrant community, and is a full Marxist portraying to be someone who works for the people. Let's continue. And we have more reaction from the Casa gate. It looks like Casa for All took down the following from their website now, too. They got word from MoCo Council, no doubt. Yes. So Casa of Maryland and Montgomery County Council are in full damage control. Where's the racial justice? Where's the equity? We have an NGO politically being active and picking a side and opining on political events and international events going on. And on a personal note, I met people from Casa some years back, and I didn't think much of it because I wasn't in politics, and I just thought that it was an NGO that worked for, to help out immigrants who came into in the county and to help them settle down and find work, help them, families find schools for their children, et cetera, et cetera. But I noticed back then that they had very, very harsh and stark comments about communism and socialism, and they were just complete Marxist. And I didn't think much of them because they were a small NGO, and I thought back then, as many people do now, that the county government was in full control and didn't have anything to do with these kinds of NGOs. But I was wrong, and this makes all the sense in the world. And they got found out, but I tend to believe that this was not done. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't done in error. This was done to deflect attention away from the crime and the bad way that the county council is managing the county in terms of the economy, taxes, everything. So let's see. And we have my tweet. And it says, we're being invaded. Changing subject a little bit. So this is from a couple of days ago. And this is the reason we're seeing crime get out of hand everywhere, including here in the county. It's part of the plan by Democrats to destroy the country by destabilizing local communities. Yep, elections have consequences. I'll let you go ahead and see this video. This is an invasion of caravans coming to the United States, to the country, and it's not an accident. It's done by design. And NGOs like Casa are everywhere, not only in Maryland, not only in the United States. They're everywhere. They're being funded by the likes of the World Economic Forum, through shell companies everywhere. Of course, you're not going to see their names under the funding description on these NGOs, but they are funding them. They are funding them, and I'll let you go ahead and see the video.
Is this just the group you're with?
Look at this. Today in the morning, it was another caravan that left from the south border of Tapachula. There's two small groups that they just left from Tapachula. One of them from 1,000, the other one from 1,500, and then this one that is 6,000. So adding all of them, it is close to 8,000 people that they're walking right now. As they heard the migrants heard from Tapachula, we already walked 15 kilometers with the migrant caravan. That is around 6,000. There is still 6,000 that they're arriving to this particular place that is called Huixla. Right here is where they're going to stay to see if the authorities of Mexico are going to give them the permit to see if they can move to the northern borders. One of the stories, Steve, that I want to tell you is that what the Biden administration has done has...
All right, let's continue. We have a result of this invasion, of this open border policy. We have a lot of crime. And unfortunately, Son of Money Greg puts out a tweet. A teen was savagely killed with a machete and buried off Brookville Road by people claiming to be MS-13. Are you hearing this, MoCo? A teen was savagely killed with a machete and buried off Brookville Road by people claiming to be MS-13 and likely in the country illegally. Body discovered just this month. Let that sink in. Theft, auto theft, home invasions, homicides have increased dramatically all over the county, and this is not an accident. The people that are supposed to be representing the residents of the county in the council and in other offices in the county are compromised, and they're not working for you. They're not working for me, you, your neighbors, your families, your children. They have an agenda, and that agenda is to destroy the middle class, to create, to destroy communities in order for them to be in control of everything. They want to get rid of fossil fuels. They want to push the narrative that there is a climate change happening in the country and the world. And that's why we urgently need to go electric, full electric. And that is a lie. And this is one of the topics that I want to delve into some other time. So be organized with your family in terms of protecting yourselves. And as I repeated in many other episodes, it's time for you guys to set up neighborhood watches, because crime is coming to you, whether you like it or not. This is happening. The police department is understaffed, under budgeted, and council members like Don Lutke are fighting to restrict police in their work, adding regulations and laws that hinder the police work and protect criminals. We have a breaking news from Matt Wallace. Remember the transgender extremist shooting in Nashville, and that the manifesto wasn't available or whatever? Well, it turns out that the manifesto was leaked, and here's what the manifesto reads. So Audrey Hale, the transgender extremist child murderer, literally wrote, "Kill those kids, those crackers going to fancy private schools with those fancy khakis and sports backpacks with their daddies, Mustangs, and convertibles. Pardon the French, F you little shits. I wish to shoot you, weak ass D with your mop yellow hair. Wanna kill all of you little crackers, bunch of little faggots with your white privilege. F you faggots." We've said this before, and we're working on getting an interview with a prominent psychologist in the area, and hopefully we can get that soon. But this is an example of how mental health is affecting our youth, and this is a product of that. The transgender extremist child murderer probably was going through a lot of mental issues because of that mindset that their birth gender was not the appropriate one. And I'm sorry to say, but there are two genders in the world as God created men and women. And I have nothing against the transgender community or the gay community or the lesbian community. If a person decides as an adult that they want to live a certain lifestyle, he or she is welcome to do so. We live in a free country, and kudos to that person. But no child should be forced to live or to be exposed to this because mentally they're not prepared to decide whether that is an appropriate thing to do, to change genders. All right, let's continue. We have, again, a tweet from Clean Slate MoCo, and kudos to Clean Slate MoCo for being on the dot in terms of being awake to what's happening in the county and giving us up-to-date information. And this is great. I see Casa for All is back in the news. Friendly reminder, your Montgomery County Council loves to give them money, over $6 million since 2018. So we went over the budget in the first couple of episodes in MoCo Resistance, and we talked about how the county shells out money to most NGOs in the county. And of course, those NGOs have to work and be kind and say positive things about the council. And here's an example. Casa received $6 million since 2018 from Montgomery County Council. You're hearing this. We're going to dive deep into the details on this. Okay, so this does finishes current events, and we'll go ahead and do a deep dive on. And now we'll go into the meat of the program, which is CasaGate. Casa, Maryland, operational arm of county council. So this is the statement by Gustavo Torres he made a couple of days ago. He's the Casa director. He's been all over the place and supporting and being at the council meetings and hearings, supporting all the bills, etc., the rent stabilization bill, etc. We showed them before. So I guess the statement goes and reads, Casa stands in resolute and steadfast solidarity with the people of Palestine in their relentless fight for freedom. We stand shoulder to shoulder with the countless black and brown freedom activists from around the world. We especially condemn the utilization of U.S. tax dollars to promote the ongoing violence. An oppression that demands urgent redress. Finally, we strongly support the struggle for decolonization, affirming the rights of indigenous people and historically colonized nations to reclaim their land. The Palestinian struggle mirrors our own, with many Casa members fleeing governments and countries wrecked by the damage of U.S. economic and political intervention. So this is a Marxist statement that is talking negatively about the U.S. And let me ask you, Mr. Torres, if you hate this country so much, why are refugees coming to this country? Why are people coming to this country? Why did you come to this country if the U.S. has economic and political policies that are interventionist in your point of view? So they're on damage control, and here's the more information about Casa. This is on their website, and this is a description of who they are. the foremost immigrant organization in the Mid-Atlantic region and a national leader in supporting immigrant families and ensuring that all individuals have the core supports necessary for full participation in society. Now a national immigrant powerhouse, Casa creates change with its power-building model, blending human services, community organizing, and advocacy in order to serve the full spectrum of the needs, dreams, and aspirations of members. So this is propaganda. This is something that is coming out of the Communist Manifesto, and this is what the Democrats do. And this is you can find this similar language in Thrive 2050. You can find this information in this same propaganda in all the bills and statements being made by past and current council members. So this is again, this action comes out as part of their natural behavior of who they are. They can't hide it. Everything's coming out, and we said this in a previous episode and some others, and about that we're in the middle of a war, and part of the war is on the spiritual side. And when that happens, so we have the forces of good and the forces of darkness, the forces of light, right? The fight between good and bad, evil and good. So I don't think this is an accident. I think there was some coordination between Casa and the council members in order for this to come out and to use it to their benefit. Remember, they caused the problem and they produced the solution. So they have the problem, they have the solution, so they can come out and show to the public that they're working for the public, etc. So let's continue. Again, this is something that comes out of Gustavo Torres, this Casa executive director, and this is comes out as we're in the middle of a war in Israel between Palestine and Israel. All right, let's continue. And here we have some information on the endorsements that Casa endorsed last year. They're also a heavily sought after endorsement during the county elections, and proudly backed Gabe Albornoz, Evan Glass, Lori Ann Sales, the racist Kristen Mink, the low IQ Will Jawando, full commie Kate Stewart, anti-police defendant of criminals Don Lifke, Mark Eldridge, right there. So these are the people who received endorsements from Casa. And what happened? Since 2018, Montgomery County has provided $6 million in funding to Casa of Maryland. Much, if not all, of this funding was non-competitive and was awarded via county resolution. Thank you, Clean Slate MoCo. And we see here 2018, around $800,000, 2019, 1.4, 2020 went down to over $1 million. 2021, that's where we're starting to see the money, almost $2 million. And last year it went down to around 800,000. So who's supporting this? Who's signing off on this? And where does the money come from? And this is only one NGO, by the way. So I'm not talking about all the NGOs that receive money from Montgomery County. Okay, thanks, Clean Slate MoCo. Any guesses who has been the chair of the Health and Human Services Committee for the council? Gabe Albornoz. This year, he has been joined by Don Lutke and Lori Ann Sells. Who are those people? Who were endorsed by Casa. Okay, so it's a quid pro quo arrangement. And most of the money comes from the county's budget under Health and Human Services. We touched this during the budget discussion, and we have $3.5 million going to Casa from Health and Human Services from 2018 to 2022. And who's the head of the Health and Human Services now? Gabe Albornoz. Okay. In the chair prior to losing her re-election, who covered housing and community affairs, was Nancy Navarro. Remember her? I remember her. Another commie, a Casa endorsed candidate. So you can see in front of you that Casa holds a lot of sway in the council, and it goes both ways. So it's a quid for quo. Literally. I rub your back and you rub my back. I cover you and you support me, and we'll support each other, and we'll be best friends. And in the political side, and guess who the new chair of the Housing and Community Affairs is now? Andrew Friedson and Will Jawando. Okay, so we have a complete picture of the corruption of the quid pro quo arrangement between Casa and the council, and it's only one example. I believe there are many more examples of NGOs and in the county that are receiving money from the council and are working together. And right now, this is a complete 100% proof that Casa Maryland works for the Democrat Party. Okay, so a little deep discussion on Casa shows that in 2017, a Casa endorsement, in addition to their praise for his efforts in starting the first day labor camp in Tacoma Park, had this to say about Mark Eldridge. So this is Casa talking about Eldridge in 2017. Eldridge has a history of working with the Latino and immigrant community for the last 25 years, Gustavo Torres, president of Casa in Action, said. In this particular moment, Mark is the right person to lead the county. Mark Eldridge knows that a more equitable world is possible and is committed to make the necessary changes to achieve it. So it's right there. What other proof do you need? We have an NGO that's supposed to be nonpartisan, non-political, non-biased, and they are showing their true colors that are full Marxist, communist, socialist, anti-American. And we have a breakdown. We have a breakdown of the money that has come out since 2018. Here you have. I'll put this in the description of the video description, the link. And this is thanks to research efforts by Clean Slate MoCo. Thank you, Clean Slate MoCo. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. And this is basically a breakdown of the funding going to Casa from the council. 93,000 from Health and Human Services, Housing and Community Affairs, 45,000, 2018 for encumbrance for fiscal year 2018 renewal to operate a vocational training program for services on a Pine Ridge Community Center, Branch Economic Development Program, $100,000. Wow. Nice investments. I wonder what the return on the investments were. I guess votes and support, public support for everything under the sun that the county council does. Yep, it makes all the sense. We have 412,000 plus for extension beyond term provided employment training. Wow, employment training for what employment if there are no jobs in the county? During the pandemic, they were still providing funding, and they were shutting down small businesses, as you can recall. 2021, 146,000. a new fiscal year 21 contract to provide housing initiative funds. I've talked to people who are working the working community in the Hispanic community in the county, and they're not, and their situation is getting worse by the day. They are talking about not being able to find jobs, not being able to go out safely at night, being concerned about their security, being concerned about their kids. And this is done on purpose. And this NGO is supposed to be working for them, supposed to be working for their interests, but they're not. It's incredible. It's sad to see. All right, so this does end episode 18. Hopefully you were able to get you the information as quickly as possible regarding what's going on in the county. We have a Casa gate going on right now, and the county is going through a lot of issues, a lot of problems, and all this because one single party is controlling the county council, and people are being lied to. We showed you that these council members and the whole government in the county are working on an agenda. That agenda does not include any issues or any well-being topics that residents in the county care about. So with this, we conclude episode 18. We thank you for your attention. Please share these far and wide. We need to get this information out as soon as possible, and we need accountability. And the only way that we can get accountability from our county leadership is for you guys to voice your concerns, to be aware of the news, and to actually spread the news. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends in social circles. We need this information out, and we need all county residents to be aware of what's really going on. This is just a tiny example of the corruption and the political maneuvering that the council has done for many years in order to cement their control of the county. And we're going to talk to former GOP candidates that were participating in last year's elections, and to give you a sense of who they are and if they had any acumen for running for the county council in comparison to the members that are in the council now. So again, thank you. Subscribe to our channels, YouTube, Rumble, and Telegram, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Join us. Join the resistance.
Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.